Okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I organise my pattern catalogues. This question comes up quite often from people, so I thought I'd show you mine. So here I am at the main menu. I'm going to go to Utilities. I'm going to go to Library Maintenance, and I'm going to go to my pattern library, and I'm going to go to Move. Now immediately I want to point out that I have a lot of pattern catalogues. I'll just scroll through them here so you can see just how many I've got. Loads. I prefer to have lots of catalogues with just a few patterns in them rather than a few catalogues with a lot of patterns in them. And they're all organised alphabetically. There they are, right at the bottom. Okay, I'll go right back to the top. Now my first catalogue is search results, and that's empty because I was looking for something and couldn't find anything, so it's empty. But my first useful catalogue is one I call building blocks, and I put a space before the word building so that this one will always be at the top of the list. And it contains all those simple geometric shapes that are so useful for creating other designs. So that's what's in my building blocks. It's actually got quite a lot of patterns in it. And I like to keep my view at 9 thumbnails. If I wanted to see more at a time, you know, you can do this so you can see a lot more patterns at one go. Sometimes that makes the images too small for me, so I prefer to keep it at 9. Now, how do I organise? I started organising my patterns just as I did before I got IQ, which meant I kept florals together, feathers together, geometric shapes together, maybe ones with curls and swirls together, that kind of thing. And I started out doing that way, and I still have some categories called that. But with IQ, sometimes I like to keep sets together, and here's one, the Adora set from One Song Needle Arts. I keep all those patterns together because they were designed to go together. So if I ever wanted to use them on a quilt, they're all right here. The border patterns are here, the block patterns are here, the sashing patterns are here, and I know they all match, so that's why I keep those ones together. Here are some other catalogues I've got. Here I've got a catalogue I created which is for background fills. I have a catalogue for birds. Going on down, I recently started doing more edge-to-edge patterns, so I created catalogues for edge-to-edge patterns. And I named those, I started the catalogue name for those E to E, but then I divided them up into types. So there's edge-to-edge floral, there's edge-to-edge feathers, there's edge-to-edge curls and swirls, just so I know I can quickly find what I want. And really organising them it is up to you and how you think and how the words you use to find patterns. I've got a catalogue here, it's all for equilateral triangles. I've got one just for fairies. And my feathers, all my feather patterns started up in one catalogue, but then they got to be too many, so I broke them down. Again, I started the name of the catalogue with feather, so they're all together on my list, but I've got feather border, feather corner, feather elements, feather passion, feather sash, so that I can find them easily. I prefer to have, as I said before, more catalogues with fewer patterns because I don't like to have to keep sweeping through. That's about as many as I like to look through to find what I want. Let's go down here. I did the same with flowers. I've got flowers, pansies. Those are all my pansy patterns. So it's just quick for me to find them. And what else have I got here? I've got Halloween designs all in their own catalogue. That makes sense to me. I've got hearts all together in a catalogue. That makes sense to me. So that's how I do it. It's easy to move them around, and I often do that. You touch a pattern, you tell IQ you want to move it, and it can be moved to another catalogue or a new catalogue. So really think about what makes sense to you and how to organise your patterns. It's an ongoing process for me. I'll move things around as my ideas change or as I buy patterns. So I hope that helps.